What's up, guys? Welcome back to Bachelor Tea Party. I am Zuri Hall, and we are joined by, of course, Ashley Iaconetti Haibon. And Bachelor alum and Married at First Sight star, Jamie Otis.
Hey!
Hey!
What's up, guys?
So today we're going to be breaking, of course, everything down from this week's 2 episodes. So we've got Taisha and the dramatic tell-all to all of the swoon-worthy hometowns. So let's go ahead and dive right in. And as we mentioned last week, we're going to switch things up this week. Let's go ahead and talk quickly about what happened in the first episode on Monday. So Yosef, he doubled down on his stance on the tell-all. So what were you guys thinking about him in that moment? He says that he had no regrets, no remorse about how things went down with Claire. But I remember, some of us being pretty taken aback by his energy when he was on the show. So what did you think about the fact that he committed to that energy in the tell-all?
It was honestly gross. We've never seen Chris Harrison ever say something like, hey, you look really bad right now. I'm trying to help you because this is not going to go over well. And the guy just doubled down. It was wild. And I feel for his daughter. I'm a little worried for her.
Honestly, same. I'm like, you have a daughter? Like, how are you teaching her anything about standing up for herself and respect and women's rights? And I mean, he's just, and like you said, Ashley, Chris is like, here, let me help you. Like, let me try again. Let me try to help you again. Just apologize.
Well, he is clearly committed to being a jerk, but he's out of the picture now. Jumping back to earlier in that episode, Taisha sent home Riley, she sent home Blake, Noah, and Bennett. So were you surprised by any of that? We can kick off with you, Jamie, and then go to Ashley.
Yeah, honestly, Riley, I don't know. I just felt like Taisha's like all about opening up and spilling your guts, and Riley spills his guts, and then she's like, see ya. No, I mean, I guess when it's not there, it's not there, and you have to like stick to your gut. I don't know what it's like to be the Bachelorette, so I can only imagine how hard it is to have to go through this, especially this far out in the season when you really do kind of, you're developing relationships and feelings and like true feelings. And I don't know. I mean, it's got to be so difficult to send anybody home.
And she had an especially emotional time when she sent Blake home. We actually spoke to Blake yesterday, and he says he thinks that Taisha will definitely end up with Zach. So check this out.
I have to say Zach would be the one that probably gets there in the end. If she's looking for a man, I think that seems to be the clear-cut choice. They all bring different things to the table. I don't think there's one guy with the complete package, and I don't think you can tell, like right now, she doesn't know what she really wants to do. I think she likes certain things about each guy, but who has the thing that she's looking for? I don't know. I gotta think that at this point it's Zach. I think she really likes things about Brennan. She likes things about Ivan. She likes things about Ben. I don't know. Zach just seems like he's the most really, really invested and ready, being 36. Life's fully there, put together. Those things connect the dots for me.
First of all, it's so weird for me to see him. Actually, is this strange? Like, just, I don't know, to see him like, now I'm out. So I think Zach's the guy, like for sure. I'll tell you.
I actually talked to Blake as well yesterday, and I said, so when you left, who would you think it was going to be? Like, who did she have the strongest feelings for? And he said, Brendan. He goes, but I still see her ending up with Zach because he thought that like hometowns or something was going to change things.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's some group mail, like those guys are all in touch too. So
yeah. So maybe a little morsel for us to, pick apart as we will, read into that. Okay, got it. Now, speaking of Zach, we obviously have to talk about last night's episode. So much went down in the hometowns. So first off, we have Zach's hometown. What were your thoughts on how Taisha vibed with his family? Because they really seem to care, which is great, very deeply about Zach's happiness.
Jamie, you go.
Okay. Well, I always think first of all, can we just talk about the fact that like it must be hot as balls there because everyone is like, I mean, how can we avoid this topic?
But Taisha doesn't sweat. I'm like, Taisha, you are an actual goddess because you're the only one and not just perspiring.
It looks amazing. From 100 degrees. I don't know.
No, she's just glowing. I'm like, okay, you're just perfect. But yes, it was so freaking hot there. Like, I know I've said this like every week, but I've never felt anything like that before, even at night.
Wow.
But yeah, I feel like, I think it's always difficult with the mother-in-law or the supposed like soon to be mother-in-law. I mean, I do not envy Taisha being in that position, or any of the bachelors or bachelorettes, having to meet the family, but especially parents who are exceptionally worried about their sons, especially the mother, and their boys and their happiness. And it's like, okay, like, I don't know. I'm just like, get me out of here ASAP.
Oh, I love Zach's family so much. I loved all the families. They're so warm. I loved, I thought Zach's mom was just like great with Taisha. The fact that she was like, I've never seen him this happy before. They just like had like this great natural like mother daughter-in-law sort of chemistry. I loved how mushy his dad was. He was crying. The way that Zach was with his parents, saying like, Mom, you gave me so much strength. If it wasn't for your strength, like I wouldn't be here today. And the way he was like, I've been lying about not wanting marriage and kids, but like Taisha makes me want them. It was the perfect hometown fit. I loved it. And Zach is my favorite to go all the way. I think all three of these guys are gems. Like, I'm happy with her ending up with anyone, but there is just like some sort of like sexy like heaviness that like comes along with Zach. I can go on.
Sexy heaviness. Ashley is lighting up over here.
I don't know. I haven't felt like the chemistry between them. I just love watching it.
Love just watching you love their union. Like, sign me up. I'm a believer now. Zach, all the way. Let's go.
Inhaling the fake cabs, the fake cabs and the bagels and the pizza. And maybe it is like the Jersey girl in me that just like loves Zach, but I don't know. Love that.
All right. Okay. Well, Brendan's got a tough act to follow now, because Ashley is not going to think anything near that, no matter what she thinks about Brendan's hometown. It seemed like they had a cute connection. Clearly, not at the level I'm assuming you thought it was with Zach's family, but what were you feeling watching his hometown unfold?
Oh, Brendan's? Okay, so I mean, I love Brendan. I think he's like the sweetest. He's like so like pure and like it's just like so kind, and he's so emotional and just on all the adjectives, right?
Yeah.
His relationship with his niece is adorable. The little carnival they had was so cute. The way that he expressed like his admiration towards his brother and how he kind of like stepped into that father role with him was so emotional. Like, I just love how most of these guys, I would say, besides Ben, have just been like Ben to a certain extent for sure. But these guys were so mushy with their family, and like this experience has really like made them appreciate it even more.
Right. Jamie, what do you think?
I feel like bringing babies are definitely the kicker, but bringing your niece along and showing how you can be just like really loving and good with kids. And I mean, if you're trying to get brownie points, that's the best way to do it, because I don't know, for me, speaking for myself, like if I see a guy just good with kids or babies, I'm like, oh, I could, like, I'm envisioning my future, and I'm like, okay, this is good. This is a good sign. Like, I feel like it was amazing to watch, just being funny and goofy and quirky. And also props to like whoever is creating these, like all like the taxi cab and the carnival scene. And I'm like, who put this together in a quarantine? Because you guys are doing really good. The art team, they get the A+.
I was appreciating them very much. I was like, this was a project. As much as I can just go on and on about how much I love Brendan, I don't feel their chemistry compares to what she has with Zach.
Okay.
I even think that she has more romantic chemistry with Ben, who we saw go, but I think she's thinking like very maturely. She's thinking about who's going to be a great dad, who's going to be like great for me once that magic 2 years of just being infatuated with each other goes away.
Exactly. What about Ivan's hometown? How were you feeling about everything that unfolded with them? Because Taisha and Ivan's dad seemed to have a pretty candid conversation about their past divorces. What do you think about all that?
I love Clarence. What an amazing, I'm sorry.
Ashley is in rare form today, and I am here for it. I love it.
I thought that Clarence was the sweetest. I love the conversation they had about divorce. Like,
Mhm.
I love the divorce conversation.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I heard you were married. Like, I was married before. Like, I had this family as well. And like, were you young? And it just seems so understanding.
And Ivan's brother making the surprise appearance. How sweet was that moment? Jamie, what'd you think about it?
That was so sweet. I mean, I think that it's great to see some bromance ever like and then this, but this is like a different level. Obviously, they're genuinely brothers. They obviously have had quite a past together, and they've really had to lean on each other. And I feel like when you're the Bachelorette and family's really important to you, and actually, like you were saying, like she's definitely serious about this. Like she's looking for the long haul, like not the honeymoon phase where it's just like butterflies right now, but like who like can you see yourself in this family? Like this is going to be your family one day, and how close are they, and do you see yourself being a part of it? And I feel like it's really sweet to see how much these guys have really like they're dudes, so they're not they're nice and strong, but they are also comfortable with showing their I don't know, the emotional side and the connection that they have and the way they've leaned on each other, and family's so important to them. And I feel like these are all, I don't know, those are all things that I'd be taking into mind. Like this is, if I'm trying to envision myself in this family in the future, like it's nice to know that there are definitely, there are definitely some men who, and the whole family in general, who really appreciate family.
Yeah. I feel like that was that was Ben's detriment in this situation, because he even said like after the hometown date, he's like, I got weirdly emotional in there. And she's like, it's not weird to get emotional. And then she has the other three guys who are just totally embracing the emotion. They're being verbal about it. They're either crying. Ben says he doesn't know how to cry. I wouldn't say that's like directly a red flag. There's people who aren't criers. But the fact that he just feels like so uncomfortable when a moment of vulnerability pops up, I think she just kind of had it. Yeah. I think he came a long way though. He grew so much in this experience. He's going to be so much better off in relationships. It's like that major step that he needs to take, but he's just not at that point.
Do you feel bad for him? Like, oh, it's just the rock and a hard place. He is who he is, and he's still working on that. Or are you like, no, she needed to send him home? I don't feel bad.
I feel bad because of like his inability to say something, because I think if he did say something, he may have stuck around for next week. But I also think ultimately he's going to be great for somebody one day. I just don't think he's at the place that Taisha needs him to be now. And I don't think like that could happen in the next few weeks.
Right.
Okay, so I feel for Ben, I feel like, first of all, I want to give him like a round of applause, because I feel like he has grown so much. I mean, first of all, the fact that he can say that I'm not able to cry or show, like he's like, he can actually speak this is kind of like the first step to like growing and healing and changing, is being able to admit it and to, and to just say, and to recognize it really. So like, I don't know, I want to give him a big round of applause for that, but I feel like she did her best to, it's almost like she was like, just like that when like, when they're having their intimate talk right before he was going, it was almost like she was like begging him to say something, to like give her a little more emotion than just, all right, yeah, well, I'll be fine. It's like, what?
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna be fine part. No, I mean, like, we want you to be fine. Okay, we really
yeah. Like, but like,
want to hear
like you care about me a little bit, like not just I'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, and clearly he does, and that's the sad part.
Clearly he does. That's what was so frustrating. And I was like, Taisha, no. She said like she like didn't get any emotion from him. I was sensing so much emotion from him, but like he was trying so hard.
Not to get all deep into attachment styles, but now I just like have to acknowledge this. He sounds like a bit of an avoidant, dismissive attachment style, which doesn't mean you're not feeling things. It just means you're extremely uncomfortable expressing them. Like your body can physically reject it. And I say that as someone who has had to do a lot of self-work out of avoidant, dismissive behavior into like, it's okay to talk about my feelings. You're not weak if you cry. So I feel for him.
I feel like after this experience, being on The Bachelor and having like all the one-on-ones with your producer and like, or like is it OTF or ITM for The Bachelor?
ITM for us.
OTF on Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this stuff? Give me the lingo.
In the moment interview versus what is the other one?
OTF is on the fly. So like they'll want to get like like how you feel right in this moment, and they'll chit chat with you and try to like dig into you. But it's honestly, they're kind of like mini therapy sessions with a producer who's not qualified to be a therapist, but it works out. And I feel like, I honestly genuinely feel like Ben has probably, I mean, I just know from my own experience and going through it myself, like I came out of it so much more in tune of like who I am and where I want to grow. And I feel like Ben is the kind of guy that is going to be able to really, I mean, the next woman that is going to pair up with him is like, can just say thank you to the Bachelor and to Taisha, because he's now able, hopefully is going to be able to express himself a little bit more and realize that there's so much value in that. And there's obviously no shame in it whatsoever. So I feel like if nothing else, I mean, I don't know, I feel like he's definitely grown. Just, I can just see like so much growth in him, and my heart goes out to him because I can tell that he's like such a sweet, wholesome man, and he does care about her. He just doesn't know how to say it. So now that he's had the chance to go through this and hopefully grow from it, like the next woman, I mean, get ready. I don't know who she is, but
I completely agree. You said that perfectly. I feel like hopefully we'll get to see it in Paradise.
Yeah.
We will see that growth in Paradise, because the Bachelor or Bachelorette is like emotional vulnerability boot camp.
Yeah.
All right. To wrap things out, we're going to play a round of roses or thorns. So first up, having all of the hometowns at La Quinta. 1, 2, 3.
Rose.
Rose and a thorn. I love it when I get a rose and a thorn.
Thorn for
Okay,
sure.
wait. Jamie, why a thorn?
Okay, well, first of all, I think that like without COVID taking a part of it, like it just stinks that you're not able to see like them in their element and their hometowns. You know what I mean? But obviously I get why it has to be there. But thorn, just because I'm nosy and I like to see their homes. I like to be like their hometowns.
Yeah.
Okay, she's got good points there. I liked the fact that it was like almost a little bit more personal because they had to create their hometowns there. And yeah, I know that they didn't actually do the art department, but just the fact that like they came up with the concepts, hopefully, I thought that was really adorable, and it made it almost more personal.
Yeah. Well, next up we have Ivan's mom being a bit skeptical about this entire process to start. 1, 2, 3.
Rose.
I mean, Rose, but also a thorn for Taisha. But
We have Rosie Thorns here. You can give her
Rosie Thorns.
Wait, why do I always say that, Ashley?
Roses.
Thorny roses. Okay. Thorny roses is what we have, so you can give it that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like I get it as a mom now to a boy, but I also like, my heart goes out for Taisha, because I know like mother-in-law, like in that dynamic, it's really difficult sometimes it's difficult to get past it. And I always inevitably think about the end goal for Taisha, which is obviously to be like embraced with this family and to like see herself in this family. And if you already have like a skeptical mother-in-law, like I don't know if she's going to feel welcome. But I also think that like, I mean, I had a very skeptical mother-in-law, and obviously it doesn't last forever. So I don't know.
Last but not least, Ben's family friend being Food Network star Antonia LaFaso.
Rose?
Did you say I don't care? Yes. That's not an option. Why don't you care, Ashley? And why do you?
She looked familiar, but I didn't automatically place her there, even though I do watch a good amount of the Food Network. I mean, I don't think like her TV appearances play a role in like her being here. I mean, I wish his parents came. I understand if it was a COVID reason. I'm surprised the parents I'm surprised that like they got as many family as they could. But yeah, I don't, I'll give it a thorn too. I'll give a thorn to her saying, "Are you in love?" Like, no, like I'm giving a thorn to the fact that he needed somebody to tell him he was in love.
Not right. He couldn't just get there on his own.
Yeah.
Okay, Jamie, what about you? You gave it a rose.
I mean, I was kind of like the same with Ashley, like rose, thorn, I don't know. Like, what does it really matter? Like who, like, I don't know anything about her. Like, she's the friend, and isn't like, it's not necessarily about her or like her accolades, I guess. But I mean, if Taisha's into food, and hope maybe she's really into whatever show she's on, and then that would be a huge brownie point. I don't know. But yeah.
There we go. Ashley, still
what about you, Zuri?
Here. I don't technically care. I think it's a rose because why not? Like, he's bringing in somebody who he cares about. She just happens to have this title at a really great network, but I don't think that is additive or distracting. So it is what it is for me. Okay, well, that wraps it up for this week's episode of the Bachelor Tea Party. Jamie, thank you for joining us. Ashley, thank you as always.
Thank you.
And make sure you guys check out the Facebook fan page, Bachelor Tea Party, to stay up to date in the meantime. And we will see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you. See ya.